All right. So today I want to share about okay, I'll check it first. All right. Okay. It's been live on YouTube. So I'm going to tell about IELTS collocation. What is collocation? This refers to words, often two or three, that are commonly placed together. There may be grammatical reasons for this, but there may not be. It may be that through long-term usage, it just sounds correct. It is one of the most important things to understand and practice when you learn the English language. Here is an example of some common verb-noun combinations to illustrate. To make the bed, to make money, to make a noise, to catch a cold, to catch a bus, to catch a fish, to come late, to come on time, to come to a decision, to do homework, to do the shopping, to do nothing. You can say do the bed as these words do not collocate together. Why are they important for IELTS? The examiner will be judging you on this. For example, here is what the IELTS public band descriptors say for an IELTS band 7 for lexics or vocabulary. Uses less common lexical items with some awareness of style and collocation. So to achieve a band 7 in this criteria, not only do you need to be using some less common words, you also need to show to some extent that you know what other words these less common words are usually used with. However, this is important for any band. If you have a bad grasp of them, this will have a negative impact on your writing and your speaking. How do I learn them? They are not something you can really sit down and say, okay, I'm going to learn collocations today. The important thing is that when you learn a new word, you learn what words are commonly used in combination with it. This is a common approach in English language course books. To take a simple example, let's say you are fairly new to English and you are learning the word to have. You may be presented with these phrases in your course book to help you learn the word. Have lunch, have a bath, have a rest, have a meeting, have a haircut, have a drink, have a good time, have a relationship, have a holiday, have sympathy, have a problem. So you are not just learning the word have, you are learning chunks of language. You are also learning words that are usually used with the word have. Learning words this way is much more effective than learning words in isolation. If you learn words on their own, you have sure to make mistakes when you try to use them in sentences. Here are some more complex examples using the word interest to show you the types of collocation you might find for a word. This is adjective plus interest, considerable interest, deep interest, great interest, historical interest, long-term interest, musical interest, vested interest, financial interest, business interest. And the example sentences, he has a vested interest in the future of the business. I have favorite musical interests. I like jazz, pop, classical, and reggae. Here are adverb plus interest. Greatly interested, deeply interested, particularly interested, really interested, very interested, quite interested. He is deeply interested in religion. I'm very interested in studying abroad. So the next are noun plus interest. Interest rate, interest payment, interest charge, interest group. There are political interest groups in my country that want to change the constitution. So the next are proposition plus interest. Out of interest, for interest, of interest. I had never heard of the film before, but I went to see it out of interest. Interest plus preposition. Interest among, interest from, interest in. This speech generated interest from many people. Verb plus interest. Take an interest, have an interest, show an interest, lose interest, attract interest, generate interest, spark interest, be of interest, maintain interest, share an interest, pay interest. I started learning to play the guitar, but I lost interest very quickly. My friends and I share many interests, so we get along very well. So, as you can see, there are many words that are commonly used with interest in different contexts. If you start to use the wrong words with it, this will be very noticeable. If you say this, for example, it will be very obvious to the examiner that it is wrong. I'm completely interested on modern art. Completely doesn't collocate with interest in this sentence, and nor does on. It could instead be said like this: I'm particularly interested in modern art. I'm particularly interested in modern art. Someone using sentences like this consistently, of course, will achieve a high band score for their essays because they are demonstrating a good understanding of which words should group together. Another way to improve your knowledge of what words collocate is reading. The more you read, the more you will notice which words commonly go together. There are some links to quizzes on the right-hand side. More will be added to your course. If you haven't already signed up to receive automatic updates to the site, do show below and you will then be notified when any necessary are listed. Thank you.